Is there any advantage to reading paper books instead of electronic?
Yeah, so I'll expand on the paper versus electronic books question. So I'll start off with the answer I used to give, which was that text is text to a certain extent, right? And as long as you have a high quality screen showing images, in picture books, and especially the pictures are as much a part of the story as the text is. If you have a high quality screen, and if the child is not being distracted by bells and whistles, because sometimes people think, oh, this is better than a paper book. If you touch this, then it makes the cow moo or whatever. Well, what happens is then a kid starts to touch everything on the screen to see what can I make this thing do, and loses the narrative flow instead. And it doesn't add anything to the benefit of the book. Also, if you're reading off an iPad or something like that, which is pretty common now, unless you're absolutely scrupulous and hold your line as a parent, the kid knows not only can I read a book on this device, we can also play Angry Birds, right? And it's very easy to just give in and say, okay, you can watch that video, we can play that game, whatever, whereas a paper book is not going to do that no matter what. Now, this new study that came out, if you look in yesterday's New York Times, excellent article by my friend Perry Klass on it, what they found was that they observed families doing three types of things in a room together. They said, here's a book, read it together. Here's an ebook, and here's another type of ebook. They found that the interactive ebooks with all the bells and whistles were the most distracting. The kid just sat there and basically just played away, right? And actually, the parent was trying, I've seen some of the videos from their study, the parent was trying to interact and the kid just kept on kind of rebuffing them, And these are young children, they're like, yeah, whatever. Just didn't want the parental involvement. The non-interactive ebook, kind of basically book on screen, but all you do is turn pages. Even then, the kid would still kind of turn away, not really engage. Paper book, for whatever reason, there seemed to be so much more of this thing we call joint attention. The parent and child looking at the book together, talking about the book and interacting, because it's not just the book on its own. Right? So be careful of these. There's a lot of programs out there that send books to kids. That's lovely, but if the family's not sure how to effectively use the book, it's not going to be that helpful. What we need is the parent and child being engaged over the book together, and that's what we do like in Reach Out and Read and other things to help build that shared book reading together and not just simply, here kid, here's some books. So I would not recommend ebooks over paper books for young children. All of this work was done in kids under 3, I believe, and so on. Older kids, we're not as clear on that. There's some questions about reading comprehension differences that are better in print versus ebooks, not real sure about that yet, and so on. However, if a parent told me, I'm on the go with my toddler all day, we have 50 books loaded on this iPad, I'm not lugging a box of 50 books around town with me, it's easier here, I'll say, sure, as long as you're actually looking at the books and talking about them and interacting, that is absolutely fine.